Hey there, Chubs listeners. Welcome to Chubs Gone Wild, episode 390, which means that we are just 10 episodes away from the big 400. Finally, we'll be at what we truly weigh. No? Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm only,
you're being very nice right now.
I'm
Anyway,
being severe. Don't worry.
yeah. It's April 19th, 2021, and it is currently, well, on its way to 84 degrees and sunny.
No,
Outside.
no, 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 no. You're reading the wrong thing. It's 91 today.
Oh, well, maybe 84 was just wishful thinking.
Yeah, yeah. 91 today. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. It's 97 today.
Well, it just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
Well, at least it's not 91. Okay.
Ha,
Go ahead. Sorry.
okay. Well, anyway, I have many fans on again as the where I'm going to surround my room with fans. I have two fans next to me. I have the ceiling fan going again. And soon I will have a fan on the other side of my room. And then you made a suggestion, which I have done before, but not for years, which is putting a fan in front of the door with my door open and pulling in some of the cool air from out in the house.
Right.
So I'm just going to have so many fans.
I'm just wondering if you put them all in a circle, but not facing you, but in a circle blowing into each other, it would be like an air fryer, but with cool air.
An air freezer. That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Have you seen the fans that they slide under, well, the bottom part slides under your bed and then the top part like actually goes in between your like
Sheets. Yeah.
Yeah. And that sounds heavenly.
See, I don't like being cold on my feet. My feet and legs, I like to keep covered even during the summertime.
Uh-huh.
Because if I get like wind on my feet, I get cold and uncomfortable. It's weird. It's recently happened. It's probably old age, but it's above the waist that is always exposed, and I can't get enough wind on that. So the ceiling fan works really well for us.
Made some chasers have a lot of fantasies right now.
Yeah, well, Sean wants the thing for the bed, and I'm like, hell no.
Oh,
No.
I wouldn't think that it would be cold though. I thought that it would just be like, air kind of blowing up your mattresses. Anyway,
okay.
or sheets. Anyway, all right. Well, it is 195 days until Halloween, which is coming up quick. Also, 250 days till Christmas and only 12 days till Beltane. So make sure that you shave the appropriate places and get your big pole out.
What the fuck is that?
What, Beltane? May 1st. It's like May Day, pagan holiday.
I know May Day is where you're supposed to have flowers, not a pole and shaved areas.
Well, no, because then that's when they have the big poles and then the streamers, and they all go dancing around the streamers, and they think, oh, isn't this good wholesome family fun? And really, they're dancing around a bunch of sperm coming out of a penis.
It's like, here we go around the mulberry bush type thing, and they're circling around with the
yeah, actually, pretty close,
yeah.
All right, well, let's see. So let's find out what fabulous holidays we have today. We celebrate bicycles, Boston Marathon, humorous. It's Humorous Day. Also, John Parker, amaretto, garlic, hanging out. So we commemorate the Oklahoma City bombing today. Also, it is Patriots Day. And
wait, what does that mean?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, okay, so is it like the football team? Is it like the old, Patriots, or is it like some sort of jacked up Republican thing? Well, I don't know.
They love that term.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Also, we celebrate rice balls. I don't think I have ever had a rice ball.
I have.
Oh, was it hot? Was it
well, what it is it's a filled piece of rice that's filled with some sort of meat or some sort of saucy kind of thing. It's like
Oh,
a stuffed meatball, basically, but the meatball's inside of the rice, and then they're usually fried or baked.
hmm. That's interesting. I might have to try one of those. But before we do that, today's affirmation: when I listen to my inner guidance, I am on the magic pathway.
When I smoke my bud, that's when I'm on my magical pathway.
Speaking of magical mushrooms, did you hear that they're talking that mushroom science medication for depression and stuff is kind of starting to eke back into the medical scientific world.
Yes, yes.
So that's very cool. Hopefully
Well,
it'll
and you know what tomorrow is?
eat a mushroom day? No. Oh, yes. It is 420 tomorrow.
That's right.
Delicious.
The day I get my second shot.
And the
Only
day
appropriate.
grocery stores run out of snacks. Yeah. No,
Well, that's okay. I have something prepared for my
oh my goodness. That looks
420 celebration.
oh, you thank the moose for that. Um, so you're getting your shot on 420. I had my second shot on 413, which was Thomas Jefferson's birthday. And how do I know that? Because Thomas Jefferson was worshipped by Jim Long, somebody that I used to work with at a magazine. Anyway, moving along from that, Patreon offers a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons: Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ, Starsage from Univibe, Timothy, Eric, Juan Carlos, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, and Moose P. You guys are awesome, and thank you so much for sticking with us and supporting us. If you
Okay,
want to, what?
here's a little. Well, go ahead and finish the Patreon thing.
Oh, if you'd like to become a patron for as little as $1 a month, just go over to patreon.com/MattBurlingame. What's up?
Okay, what did Thomas Jefferson die of?
Syphilis?
Chronic diarrhea.
Wow. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. What a way to go. Ugh. Yeah.
I'm figuring that just led into dehydration.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, oh, that's right. So especially back then, they probably didn't have the stuff that they do today to be able to try to knock that out.
Sure. But yeah. And what day did he die?
420.
No.
No?
It's famous day because him and John Adams both died on the same day.
Oh.
Fourth
Raymond
of
Burr.
July. 4th of July. Okay, you're terrible.
Well, I dropped out. I never went to high school, so I don't know these things.
No, but Jim used to tell you all about fucking.
Oh, yeah. Well, he used to tell me all about the ideals that he liked that Thomas Jefferson had, because not Thomas Jefferson, but he was one of those libertarians who come off as, really just esoteric Democrats, but really are fucking crazy. Oh my gosh! I think we just lost 10 listeners. I'm sorry. I don't think you're fucking crazy. So let's move on. Speaking of birthdays, we have some coming up here. So we want to wish some happy birthdays to Alan, Joey, Oliver, Chris, Adam, Jack, Joseph, BJ, author BJ Thomas, author Tommy Kelly, author HQ Kinsley, Stephanie, David, author Christian St. Croix, George, Wanda. Oh, Wanda Wisdom. We all remember Wanda Wisdom, one of the original drag queen podcasters. Also, goodness, there's a lot here. Melissa Colton, Albert, and Kay and Ray. Awesome. Happy birthday, everybody. Seems like your parents were very busy during this time. Where are we? Feedback. Well, we have nothing in the feedback at this point. So we're going to go ahead and start. I skip over that. So we got some chub hugs coming up here. Do you have any that you want to send out?
I'm waiting for yours so we don't double up.
Okay, so mine goes to Michael P. And I think I may have mentioned that last week he lost his pup, and it's been a real struggle for him. And I just want to send him more chub hugs because he's going through a really, really rough time with it. How about you?
I want to send chub hugs out to my friends who think it's okay to make racist jokes in public.
Well, they definitely need hugs,
They need it.
especially when the people at other tables may come and beat their ass.
Yeah. It's there's never a good time for racist jokes.
That's true. All right. Well, I'm glad you hugged them. They're so important. All right, let's get into current topics and start with the police make arrests in the deaths of 2 North Carolina transgender women. Despite the arrests, local advocates say Black trans women don't feel safer. Yeah, that would be a given.
Yeah, it's like Black people don't feel safer.
Right.
So
Add on top of it women and then trans. Jeez.
Yeah, it's a terrible situation.
Also, Bachelor star Colton Underwood comes out as gay. And did you watch his season?
No, I don't watch The Bachelor.
Oh.
I watch The Bachelorette.
Okay.
But I do remember he was the virgin bachelor, claiming he was a virgin. What he meant to say, I'm a virgin with girls.
Yeah.
And what's funny is he's got a new Netflix series coming out.
I saw that. In fact, I've read a number of controversial things about that.
And you know who he's going to have as his Jiminy Cricket?
Please tell.
It's the swimmer guy. No,
Gus
he's not a swimmer. Gus. He's a skier.
Skier, yeah. Gus, I think Kentworthy is his last name. And yeah, so I've been hearing things about that, such as sorry, I keep seeking apparitions. Oh, look, another show about a gorgeous white guy coming out and being mentored by another gorgeous white guy. And at first I was like, well, yeah, that's pretty true. And then the writer he's a fucking idiot. So after that, yeah, so I give him props for coming out, because regardless of whatever else, coming out is a hard thing to do, especially publicly, when you're in the public light, I mean. So
anyway. I have a little news too.
I didn't know you were gay. No, what?
John Cameron Mitchell,
yeah,
you know, who played Hedwig,
yeah,
or wrote Hedwig, I should say. He's going to be playing Joe Exotic in a new series.
Wow. Now that would be interesting to see. Huh.
It's for NBC, so yeah, it sounds like it could be fun.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I of course adore him. With the Colton thing, you know, the Netflix thing and all that, people are going to forget it 5 minutes after it comes out. It already sounds boring, but you know what? I'm going to check it out just to see. Who knows? It could end up being amazing and doing a lot of good things for gay kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Joe Biden calls for increase in funds to HIV, to end the HIV epidemic, which is a fucking awesome thing. All right. Now Tom wants to talk to you about.
Oh my God, it's my week already?
It sure is.
Oh, let me switch over here. Well, first of all, I did want to mention that on on Facebook, I have been investigating fan pages.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
just like, I mean, I was always on Barry Manilow's, and then all of a sudden someone offered me a Carpenters fan page. So I was on, then I was on the Carpenters fan page. And then and I also had been on the Banana Splits. Remember the old live
Yes.
action? I
Yes.
was on their fan page, or I still am. And then I got on Hanna-Barbera's fan page, since
Oh,
Hanna-Barbera was part of the Banana Splits anyway, but
right.
for the overall thing. So I've got a fan page. I mean, the fan pages are coming up with like people with collections of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, severe collections. I mean, crazy collections of the whole cast, member, and done in everything, anything they could find, whether they're little miniatures or they're little stuffed animals, or but it's like, oh, good, I'm not the only crazy person out here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so it's been cool because if you're actually a fan of something, oh, Harry Potter too, I'm part of that Harry Potter one. If you're a fan of something, and it's so nice to see that there's actually people out there who feel the same way you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you might find, your what's his name, the sunglasses guy.
Oh, there is a huge
Well, that's what I'm saying.
caravan.
Look
Yeah.
for
Not only is there a fan page, but everybody's on his page on there too.
Well, that's what you should do. You should look for his, and see all the people who their friends call crazy, just like we call you. So,
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, there's even like 1900s British sitcom fan pages and
oh, that is so
all
you.
sorts of things like that. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, and the other thing I want to tell you was, on that the Harry Potter fan page, somebody had thrown out the theory that after Fred Weasley died, that George no longer really wanted to run the shop, the magic shop, anymore.
Hmm.
So he ended up switching from making gags and tricks and stuff to making candy, and that maybe George Weasley is really Willy Wonka. I know the timelines don't work,
Huh.
but if
Well, you
think
never
about
know.
think about it. And one of the things they said was, if you think about, he had the top hat, him and Fred both had the top hats, and that he would have gone kind of recluse because of his brother being killed, and so then they said uh, that the Oompa Loompas were probably brought in by Hermione, because remember, she was big into the saving the house elves
Hmm.
in Goblet of Fire. Well, at the once she became the job that she's in, she probably found the Oompa Loompas, realized that the Vinicius Canids were real things, and brought them to Willie's factory, because they'd be safe there, and then that way everything could be magical, and they'd push all the muggles out of the place.
Hmm.
I don't know. It was
It's
also,
very interesting. It's
yeah,
there's another. Oh my gosh! I know I'm not going to be able to fully remember it, but there's another storyline, another thing out there where they said that they compared it and they said that somebody who is a witch or somebody who is magical, well, Mary Poppins, that's who it was. That
that's
Mary
right.
Poppins was actually from the Harry Potter witch thing because of the stuff that she did.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. What did I have happen this week? Let's see. Mass Singer. It ended up being the lead singer from Sugar Ray.
Mm,
Yeah. Um,
mm.
and we didn't get it. It was funny because he was talking about how his father recently died, and that he has two 10-year-old twins. And we immediately go, oh my God, that's Neil Patrick Harris.
Huh.
And Neil Patrick Harris, his father died in 17, and he has two 10-year-olds, twins.
Wow.
And it's like, no, there's there's more than one person whose father recently died who has twin 10-year-olds, but I thought that was pretty strange. Let's see. American Idol, we just last night we got down to the top 9, but they're doing something interesting. They're bringing back I believe the top 10 from last season, excluding the person who won, just Sam, who won American Idol, since none of them got to perform on stage because they were literally performing from their back porch, because it was all COVID at that point. And so they're bringing them back to get a chance to get back into the top 10. One of them will be put back in the top 10. So they'll get to go another season. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I finally finished Mad About You because I was saving the last 2 episodes because I felt like I just wanted to make it linger, but all it was doing was, you can't linger. I just had to watch the shows and then miss that we haven't heard anything. I don't know. It should be back. Such a great series. The new reboot of Mad About You on Prime. So those of you who like to tweet, send Prime, information on how they need to bring Mad About You back for a second season.
Yes.
Because I know it was done for Spectrum, but I'm sure Spectrum's not going to do another season.
I don't even know what the fuck Spectrum was.
It's a cable station. It's like DirecTV.
Wow. Huh.
So yeah. So anyway, no, that's no. I'm another episode into them. I'm up to the part where she goes to visit the Johnsons who live over a couple blocks away from them.
Oh.
The other black family.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, with the husband in the wheelchair.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was a freaky ass episode. And then let's see. Oh, there's a show called Chad that's on, I think, TBS, and Chad is played by a woman, but Chad. Right, so I'm not sure if the character is supposed to be trans or what was going on with that, but I found the show so irritating. I couldn't get past the first 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just like, I hate these people. Where is this going to lead? And then I thought, I don't care, and I turned it off.
Oh, okay.
Top Chef, still, it's always good. And then I did see 2 movies. One is The Stand-In, which is with Drew Barrymore, just started on Netflix, where she plays Candy Black, who is a comedy actress, kind of like Melissa McCarthy, a lot of stunt work, a lot of big humor like that. Well, her stand-in, which is also played by Drew Barrymore, what happens is when Candy freaks out and decides she's quitting the business, that leaves her stand-in with nothing to do because she wants to be an actress. But when you look like a famous person, you're fucked. You're really fucked. So, I mean, that only worked with Vicki Lawrence. That's all I have to say. So what happens is she says, the actress, she has to go to rehab. So instead of going to rehab, she hires her stand-in to go to rehab for her. And then that works out fine. And then it's like, she doesn't want to, the actress does not want to make all these public appearances. So she starts sending the stand-in out to make the public appearances as well. And then before too long, now everyone thinks that the stand-in is her, and the stand-in kind of wants to do what she wants to do. She wants to be famous. And while the actress wants to get out of the business. And I thought it was going to get a little darker, but it didn't, which I think that's the only thing that disappointed me about that, was that it didn't get darker. But it was actually kind of a good show. And I watched it just so I'd have something to bitch about to Brian and tell him how terrible it was, but it wasn't terrible. So the second movie I saw was Unhinged. Unhinged is the well, it is Russell Crowe is a crazy person, and he goes out and kills people, and the movie is about this woman who honked the horn at him because he wasn't moving. So she honks the horn, and he decides he's going to ruin her life. And it's Russell Crowe playing, like I said, the bad guy. But the shocking thing is that Russell Crowe is easily somewhere around our size.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's funny because I don't remember where it took place, but it was kind of drizzly a lot. And I
Mhm.
think that and the streets were always wet, but I think they were doing that to make us not notice that he was sweating so bad in the movie. I mean, he always had a ring of sweat, around the collar,
Uh-huh.
you know, in August, and it's 110 degrees outside, and we come in and we're sweaty to the nipples pretty much. And this is how he was, and it was like, oh my God, I don't think he's going to last the whole show. He's either going to be dehydrated or he's having a heart attack. I can't tell which
Oh
one.
my goodness.
But and the movie was very disturbing, and I would say it's one of those movies that just pissed me off, because it's like, first of all, if he's just this crazy guy
Mhm.
that's lashing out, that's fine. He's like a Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers,
Yeah.
just in a Russell Crowe outfit. But in this case, he just got let off from his job,
Mhm.
and he was weeks before his pension would kick in, and
Mhm.
and then his wife cheated on him with some other man, and now he's going through divorce, and they tried to give him, like, okay, this is why he's crazy. It's like, no, I don't want to feel sorry for the killer,
Yeah.
the guy who walks into his ex's house and hits the new boyfriend in the head with a hammer. I don't feel sorry for this guy. I don't care what he's been through. There's no reason to murder people because you're mad.
Yeah.
Done.
It,
Okay.
it's like, it sounds like a movie that is just another white guy excuse. Oh, your life isn't going that well, so you have the right to go fuck up other people's.
Well, and like I said, it's one thing, because I mean, I've seen
But
movies where this has worked,
yeah.
but what they've done is they haven't tried to make us feel sorry for the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
The bad guy gets none of our sympathy, and he shouldn't.
Right.
But that's I mean, that's the real thing that's wrong with the movie. Otherwise, I mean, there was some good tension there. It would have been, like I said, it would have been fine if he was just crazy,
That's,
and
yeah.
this woman happened to be the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
So, other than that, I'm going to be starting some new babies as soon as it cools down a little bit, because 90 degrees, which means it's warmer inside. I need to be able to control my environment better. So,
Yeah.
once they get older, then the heat's not a problem. But
Have you ever looked at if they grow better in the summer than the winter or anything like that?
well, traditionally they're grown outdoors, in places like, um, Humboldt County,
Hmm.
up in the mountains, because the basically the plants need to be, they can get cooler at night. That's not a problem, but during the day, their growth period, they need to be between, let's say 78 and 85. Once we're over 85, that's not good. That's why they probably wouldn't grow well in Sacramento.
Hmm.
It's like tomatoes. Tomatoes don't grow after a certain, once they get to a certain degree, the plants won't grow anymore.
Huh.
I mean, your fruit will ripen, but ideally, there's a window there, and the same thing with weed. So they that's why indoor growing in Sacramento is probably better than outdoor growing in Sacramento because you can control the temperature and I mean, seriously, that heat during the summertime, you'd probably burn off your tips, and that's where all your flowers are.
I feel like my tips get burned off, girl.
Right. And other than that, I'm trying to think if anything is new and interesting. Oh, I did get some new underwear for tomorrow.
Oh, nice. You
Yeah.
walk around the house and show them off.
Well, I'll be wearing these when I get my second shot
Nice.
to celebrate the day. So they're for 420, and thank you, Me Undies, for being brave enough to put pot plants on underwear and not worrying about offending somebody.
Yeah, trigger warnings abound. Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you watched the new show Pooch Perfect?
Actually, Nephi has been telling me that I need to watch that. He's watching it and he loves it.
Okay. The problem, I mean, I would love to see a show where they're doing dog grooming. I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I love seeing the dogs, but they're casting, they go through and they go, okay, we need crazies. I mean, these people, most of them are crazy. I mean, they're crazy. They're full of themselves. They, I mean, oh, I am the hottest, dog groomer in town. It's like, that's not a compliment, I mean, seriously. And it's just, I feel bad because I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be, Bill, the dog groomer, who's an excellent groomer, but you know what? He won't get cast because he's not a nut job.
Right.
You've got to see these people. I mean, you know how most of these shows, they bring up the
jobs and hot people.
Okay, remember the gardening show where
yes, I kind of want a season 2 of that.
But remember how crazy most of them were?
Yes.
I mean, that's to me, it's distracting, because I don't want to make fun of people who are crazy, but when they go on TV, it's really hard not to do.
Right. Well, they become part when they do TV shows. They become part of the cultural. Basically, they put themselves out there for it.
Right.
Sadly, in some ways, and in other ways, not so sadly. Well, all right.
Yeah. So that's kind of it. I know. I guess I don't have much.
That was quite a bit. All right. Well, let's see. Well, for me, it's been a crazy week, and lots been going on, but nothing that really needs to be reported. But I finally finished watching Picard, Star Trek Picard season 1, and it was really good. It took about 5 or 6 episodes to fucking figure out where the hell it was going. But once it did, it was off and running, and I really liked it. So I am looking forward to season 2. And then I also watched all of season 3 of Star Trek Discovery. And of course, that too came out months and months ago. But I finally was just in the right place, and I watched it, and I really loved it. They're doing such amazing work, and they're so inclusive. And of course, this season had 2 trans kids on there. Well, kind of trans. I mean, they were trill, and one wanted to be called they, and then the other was, I guess, self-identified as male, but it could have been a trans person. Doesn't matter. Fact is, it's a very inclusive show, and it's a very fucking good, well-written, fast-paced show. I was never bored. The characters are awesome, so I'm looking forward to season 4, which is already, there's just a preview of, but is already getting, bashed for the preview. And I just get a little tired of internet people who just go and bash shit because they feel like it. Speaking of,
Hey, isn't
I
that what we're doing?
watched, well, I like to think that we at least give a little bit of critique and kind of somewhat fair in our bias. But a lot of people just shit all over Thunder Force on Netflix, and I didn't remember whether we had talked about it last time, but I watched it and I thought it was a really fun show. It's like what I like to call, and I got this term from Andrew Gomez on the Netflix on the Facebooks. It's just called dumb fun.
Yeah, I mean, remember movies like Aqua Girl and no, it's remember one was a Shark Boy.
Oh
Shark Boy
yeah, yeah,
Lava
yeah,
Girl,
yeah,
right? I
yeah,
mean, yeah, you know what? They're dumb.
yeah.
They're dumb movies, but there's also something about just being entertained.
Right. It was like, dude, dude, where who stole my car, or where did you park my car, or
Sure.
whatever the fuck it was. That was just a fun movie, but I didn't expect anything more from it than I got. It was nice, and this is the same thing. Actually, I thought Thunder Force was really well done, and yes, it is dumb fun, but I don't care. It was two large superhero chicks kicking some ass, making some jokes. It was just, and of course, Jason Bateman. I just have always, once he got older and kind of turned manly, I've always thought he was gorgeous.
See, I don't think he's gorgeous, but I just love his personality
Yeah, and he's funny.
and his character. Even his character on Ozark, or whether it's here's Crabman, either or, I'm fine. I
Yeah,
just I like him. I like him in movies.
yeah.
Remember when he was the guy who was doing the kids spelling bee because they never said anything about adults can't do it, and so he's breaking into kids spelling bees, and I'm still okay with him.
Yeah,
There's always something redeeming about his characters that I really love.
yeah,
And
me
so
too.
yeah, I always look forward to his movies.
So I think it is a win, and if they decide to do a sequel, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's Netflix and it's free, so calm down, people.
yeah. Um, one of our friends told me to check out Frank of Ireland, which is, I think, new up on Amazon
Right.
Prime.
Yeah.
And I watched the first episode. Dumb fun. And yeah, I'll probably keep watching it, but we'll see where it goes.
Well, I
Because
love the fact that the first episode is doing an intervention on a guy who is living at home, and everyone wants him to grow up. So,
yeah,
I mean, there's lots of room to grow there.
yeah, there really is. So I'm kind of curious where the show's going to go, and I'll keep watching it. And then finally, I did myself the biggest favor that there is, because just in case, I bought myself season 1 of Call Me Kat, so I can watch it anytime I want without commercials. It's just, I'm so happy.
Why would you do that? Don't you have Hulu?
Yes, but
It's on
at a
Hulu,
certain point,
commercial
they're going to
free.
take it off. I know I can watch it there too, but when I watch it on the TV, I get the commercials. When I watch it on on the computer, there's no commercials, but when I watch it on TV, they throw in the commercials. Now I can watch it commercial free, just keep streaming it over and over. And I have just fallen in love with Cheyenne Jackson, who apparently I actually loved before I even knew who the hell he was. So there's that too. All right. Well, we want to remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you, like the Caster Call Me Cat does. And you can do that because Fat Marker Clothing wants those of us who've been told that we're too much of something to turn those negatives into positives. And you can do that by going over to fatmarkerclothing.com and using the code FMWildChub to get 20% off everything over there. And do go check out the new designs by Spencer P. Myers. They are really fun. And like I said last time, I love the cocky character, and I think you will too. But seriously, they're fun. All right. Well, let's find out what Dear Prudence is talking about. Dear Prudence, my husband and I are planning a lovely weekend staycation for an entire week with his relatives, 8 adults in total, all from the same bubble. My mother-in-law loves having meals together and usually makes the food, but she is a terrible cook, bless her. She tries, and we get by with the basic staples like tacos and prepackaged lasagna. But I really love good food, so it's a real shame to do that for a week. I politely eat at these family gatherings and have even offered to cook. Cooking for a large group is fine 1 or 2 nights, but not for the whole trip. To add to the issue, if I even offer the lightest advice, like I bet some fresh basil would be amazing in this delicious tomato soup. Even uh, even when my mother-in-law welcomes the change, the rest of the dinner guests make comments like, "Oh, there Wendy goes again, wanting to make fancy things. She can't just leave well enough alone," which really dampens the mood. My husband loves my food and is very supportive of me, but if I let him, he would unleash. Am I destined to eat boring basics? In exciting food cities, are there other ideas I could suggest?
This woman obviously really doesn't have enough to do. Okay.
Uh,
I mean, how many times do we, you always go to family meals and they're boring,
mm,
and or you don't get enough food, you have to stop at the Burger King on the way back, because you're still hungry. We've all done this, and it's something called dealing with family.
mm,
Deal with family. And you know what? If you don't want to, don't stay this, don't accept a whole week's worth of vacation at home with people you don't like.
right, exactly.
I mean, who would go, yeah, we'll just go ahead and have our vacation with your relatives who I despise and they make fun of me all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I like to add basil to things to make it fancy.
Well, no, they say fancy.
Right, I
She
know,
just,
but
she just thinks it tastes better.
just go home and have your basil tomato soup, and
Yeah. I mean, that's all.
just, if
If
you don't like lasagna, go eat a cracker and deal with it. That's my advice.
well, and if it's a lovely week-long staycation
Mm,
with his relatives, 8 adults total, why would you call it a lovely week-long vacation?
right. You
You
obviously hate these people.
you hate these people. They're, they eat basic food. I mean, you're such a snob. It just disgusts me.
I know, adding basil to soup, you rogue. Anyway, all right, well, let's see what Jim Prudy had to say. Split the difference as often as you can and make things easy on yourself wherever possible. It may be that your husband's relatives are used to sharing every single meal together for the entire duration of any family trip, but given vacations often run a lot more smoothly when 1 or 2 nights are given over to just something more flexible. You don't need to persuade the others to join in and to join you in making your own separate plans either. Although they might end up following your lead and enjoying it someday. If you and your husband have one night where you know you're going to go out to dinner on your own, one night where you cook with the family, and one night when he does, that'll go a long way to making those most bland but serviceable meals easier to muddle through. Beyond that, if you know the family doesn't react well to your suggestions, I'd recommend you stop offering the light advice about how your mother-in-law could have prepared the dish differently. And if you really want some fresh basil on her tomato soup, go ahead and stew a few ribbons on your own bowl.
And the other thing is that, uh, I mean, first of all, this situation is strictly because of COVID,
Yeah,
because she mentions the bubble, so they're not going to be able to go out and get dinner on their own
right.
one night. It's a pandemic. Calm the fuck down. Eat the bland food. Don't vacation with your relatives. I don't understand what the problem is here. Wendy is just a stupid bitch.
Well, I gotta say, it's like if that's the least of your problems, girl,
I know. Yeah, this is
and pity your children. So, all right. Hey, Chubs, what was your longest relationship?
I'm still in it.
Oh, that's so sweet. I like that answer. Oh, I don't know, a couple weeks. Um, relationships are stupid.
Shut up. You don't know.
Oh no, they're not stupid for you, but for me, just a different way of thinking. Anyway, hey Chubbs, would you marry for money?
Absolutely.
Me too. Well, you kind of did.
No.
I'm kidding.
Hey, when I first came in here, we're talking Starbucks, okay? That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
But no, and usually when you marry for money, it's kind of across the board, everyone understands what's going on.
Right,
So it's not
exactly.
like you're cheating anybody.
And I have to say that I would marry for money, but I would have to at least like the person,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you know. So yeah. All right. Next up, what's in your lunchbox? Well, apparently nothing. So moving on.
Wait a minute. Now you got okay, before you get all bent out of shape and
Oh,
nasty,
that's not been out of shape.
it sounded like it. You got to remember that the man can only do so much in his life. He's repaired a bathroom.
Wow,
He's
I'm
planted 400,000 bulbs in that yard, and we better get pictures of that. I'll tell you.
yeah.
I hope that the rabbits in the area aren't eating it. And don't forget, he had to take Tessa in this week
Oh,
to the
that's
vet.
right.
And you remember what happened? The vet says, "Wow, she's really fat. You're gonna have to put her on a diet." So Tess came home and cried at her box. Her
She went in her box.
basically.
She realized that she was fiercely obese.
Yes, and so she's laid next to her litter box, kind of like when you cry in the shower, or you're laying next to the toilet going, "My life is over. Oh, the porcelain's so nice and cool," that kind of feeling. She cried herself to sleep over being told she was fat.
Oh, she
And of course, I'm sure we're going to get pictures of the meatballs and the turkey breast. He just hasn't gotten to us yet.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let that go then. But actually, seriously, I am kind of looking forward to pictures of the meatballs if they turned out well.
Well,
But,
remember last time, he sent us the recipe.
I know, that's so cool.
So
anyway, I was just thinking about suddenly a meatball off, but anyway.
Now, do you like meatball subs?
I have had a couple good ones before, but as a general rule, no, because they always end up being a great big soggy weird mess.
Now, see, what I don't like about it is that the meatballs tend to be mealy.
Mm-hmm.
Almost, what I'd really like, and this talk about mess, would be more of a manwich or a sloppy Joe.
Okay, yeah, I'm there.
Which is basically meatballs all shattered, but lots of sauce and big flavors. Yeah, because then your meat isn't mealy. I hate mealy meatballs.
Not only are they mealy, but it seems that the ones that I've had, the bread has sucked up all the sauce and the juice, and then they're dry, mealy. blah.
Yeah, well, I remember, I think it was Togo's at one time, they were doing meatballs like the size of tennis balls. They were huge.
Wow.
Or it
Huh.
may have been, if it's not Togo's, it was Subway.
Mm,
But you bite into it and it's just gross
mm,
because the meatballs need to be smaller for sub sandwiches.
yeah, definitely. I will say that Mr. Lawrence makes some amazing meatballs, and he does a combination of hamburger and pork in
Mhm.
his, and then adds all sorts of fun stuff. But they're very yummy. And someday I'd like to taste Moose's balls too. Um, yeah, I know you sent us the recipe, but you know how lazy I am with the
No,
recipe.
no, just you said it sounded like,
Oh yeah, I did kind of say, well,
yeah,
anyway.
yeah, it's kind of filthy.
Huh.
Even your phone commented on it.
Mhm. Yeah,
Dirty mouth, dirty mouth.
that was yeah, oh goodness. That was our friend Clint who was demanding something that the bitch ain't gonna get. Anyway, hey, currently LGBTQ people of color in America have a disproportionately high rate of HIV infections. Golden Rule Services of Sacramento, along with the HIV Planning Council, want you to know that there is an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka PrEP, is a medication proven to be 99% effective when preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, call your local sexual health clinic. If you're in Sacramento County, California, contact Golden Rule Services at sacgrs.org to get started on protecting your sexual health. All right, well, send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Leave us a comment at chubsgonewild.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/chubsgonewild, where you can also go over and check out what's in your lunchbox. And you'll have to look at past episodes, but there's lots of fun stuff to see, and Moose sends amazing pics, so it's definitely worthwhile. All right, please consider becoming a patron of the show at patreon.com/MattBurlingame, and find Tom's movie and TV reviews over at swannerandjudd.com, or find them in their podcast in iTunes or on iHeartRadio. Find out more about my books over at justkisstheguy.com, and check out my other podcast, biggaysexshow.com. And give us a call at
408-692-4827.
what the fuck? What happened?
408-69 Chubs.
There we go. That's the one. That's the one that touched me, Daddy. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget that you can email us anything, anytime, anywhere. Here we are. And we look forward to hearing from you and our feedback. Yes. All right. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.